I know what NAFTA was about from the beginning. It was about cheap labor. Cheap labor is the oldest story in history. This is why unions are so important. Because what you do every day is you try to make sure that people have enough money to have a home, to have a means of transportation, to be able to have health care, be able to have some retirement security, be able to send children to school. These are practical matters, okay? I understand it. Look, the house that I live in right now, I bought for $22,500 in 1971. I still live in that house. It's in a working class neighborhood in Cleveland. My neighbors are machinists, they're police and firemen. You know, my neighbors are municipal workers. My neighbors are involved in the community, but they're all struggling. There's a lot of working people are right now. NAFTA took all of you know, it's a bargaining table. Once NAFTA passed, it changed the dynamic at the bargaining table. You don't like this offer we're giving you? You know what? Hey, we're leaving. Then we'll see where you're at. And once it changed the dynamic at the bargaining table, then unions lost the kind of clout that they needed in order to be able to get a decent deal for their workers. I understand what happened here. That's why, once NAFTA is canceled, here's where we go from there. We go to Mexico, for example. You know, when NAFTA passed, wages collapsed in Mexico, this is what was responsible for a lot of people coming across the border. They were told the wages were going to go up, and they went down. They ran into the willing arms of corporations who didn't give workers any rights, you know, who were working for dirt cheap wages. You know, there's a scandal in this country. What happened? But NAFTA helped make that happen. I am going to work and set a new trade structure up where we go nation to nation. And we say, you want to do trade with the United States? Everybody wants trade with the United States. You know, they want us to be able to buy their goods. They don't want to buy our goods. Right? We're going to change that. Because we're going to say, you're going to have reciprocal trade. There's going to have to be reciprocity. We must have reciprocity in trade. And there has to be some correspondence between what, you know, what we buy from them and what they buy from us. It just only makes sense. But in addition to that, we're going to use trade to strengthen the labor movement. Here's how we're going to do it. Anyone who wants to trade with the United States must agree that they're going to put into the trade agreement and accept that in their own nation they must have workers' rights, which mean the right to strike, the right to collective bargaining, the right to decent wages and benefits, right to organize. It's written in the agreement. So our brothers and sisters in Mexico then will finally have the tools that they need to be able to have a strong labor movement where people can negotiate for decent wages. And in this country, it will put back in the bargaining table labor's ability to negotiate for wages again without being played one country against another. See, I understand how this has worked. That's why I know NAFTA has to go. Now people say, well, how can you do that? Look, George Bush, believe it or not, you know, one of the few things, probably the only thing I ever learned from him was this. He canceled the ABM treaty with Russia, one of the first acts in office. And I thought it was an awful thing to do. So I tried to go to federal court to stop it. The federal court said the president has a right to withdraw from the treaty. NAFTA's a treaty. I mean, this is where one person makes a difference. A president of the United States who goes in and says, look, we're out of here. Actually, you can do that. Now, some candidates for president are getting some religion on trade are saying, oh, we're going to fix NAFTA. Let me tell you something. Unless you withdraw from the WTO, you can't do it because any changes you try to make in NAFTA are WTO illegal. You can't have Buy America. I want to rebuild America just like FDR did with a new WPA. I put the bill in H.R. 3400. Rebuild America's bridges, water system, sewer system. We have an infrastructure that needs trillions of dollars of improvements. I introduced this bill 3 times already, long before bridges started falling down. We got some of our steel work brothers here and sisters. Let me tell you something. Today, we can't pass a law that says you must use U.S. steel to rebuild America, even though we have the productive capacity to even open up old mills that have been shut down to bring them back into production. We could, if we're rebuilding the infrastructure, we can't do it because the WTO said you can't pass a Buy American law. It is WTO illegal to do that. It gives America an unfair advantage, right? So I'm talking about you firing up those mills.